I'm in Iceland right now in the middle of the highlands, and I spent the night here in probably freezing temperatures. It was definitely below zero. It was like frost in the morning. Good time to talk about my Zenbivy bed setup here that I'm camping with and have been camping with for a few days. What's up, my biker friend? Welcome back to the channel. I'm going to talk about the Zenbivy bed system that I've been using for camping here in Iceland, and they have a normal air mattress that most others have, but their sleeping system is a bit different. It's not a sleeping sack, it's actually Quilt, so it doesn't have the lower part of the sleeping bag. It's something that, while I was researching, I kind of had to understand what the whole point of that is, but it kind of makes sense when you think about it, that a sleeping bag that when you lay on it, that the down is basically compressed and it doesn't really give you any insulation. So they just did away with that. And there's a few other smart things that they did with the setup. Having a quilt allows you sort of different settings. I had temperatures in Denmark when I left of around, I think it was 15 degrees at night, which was a relatively warm setup. So I have the Zenbivy Lightbed, which is rated to minus 12 degrees. I get to the temperature rating in a second. So it's relatively warm, so then you can open the quilt up and just use it as a blanket rather than stuffing yourself into like a mummy-like sleeping bag. So you just have a light cover, so you get a little bit of air circulation, and it's quite comfortable in those higher temperatures. Then when it gets colder, like last night, they have a really nifty system here that they use a bed sheet, and it's covering the upper half of the air mattress. And I'm gonna start from the top, which is really cool. So they have a little hood. You can get that insulated and non-insulated. I'm glad I got the insulated version. So this is the minus 12 degree rated insulated version. So I stuck my head into this part because it was really cold last night. If it's not that cold, you can just lay on top of it. Also, it's great because it holds the pillow, so the pillow doesn't move around or lead off the air mattress. It just kind of stays tucked in here, which I found really cool. I move a lot when I sleep, and so this never came off, which is really cool. The other thing that's also great, because I move around a lot in my sleep, is to have these little hooks and loops. There's 4 on each side. They're color coded, so you can take the quilt that has the counterparts, the loops to it, and you can hook it into the bed sheets on both sides. So you can just do one side and leave one side open, let's say if it's a bit warmer, or you can use all 8 loops, both sides, which I did last night because it was cold. And then you can see they hook up sort of up here, so when that little cover comes up, it makes sure that there is no sort of airflow coming to the underside of the quilt. And I can attest to you that works because last night it was cold and it did work really, really well. Cool setup. Look at the bottom side of it. Now the bottom is a quilt. It can be opened up fully, so the bottom end is open like the top end, right? Just like a blanket, really. But what you can do, which I did here, is you can tie sort of the I can retighten it a bit, I guess. It came loose, but you can sort of hook these things together and tighten the bottom end, so it becomes just like a mummy sleep sack, right? So there's more hooks and loops, so you have the bottom end just similar to a mummy sleep sack, and that's how I had it last night, and just kind of tuck your feet in, and I stayed pretty warm. Well, saying that, warmth and temperature rating. Now, I'm new to the whole motor camping idea and camping idea, so one of the most confusing things for me of picking the right sleeping bag is the temperature rating. Now, this thing is rated to minus 12 degrees, and it says the comfort range is minus 4. I don't fully understand what that means. I'm glad I got the warmer version because it was definitely probably just below freezing last night, and I was still wearing sort of my base layer that I have for motorcycle riding. I had a fleece sort of jacket on, I had socks on, and with that I was comfortable. Could probably go down a few more degrees, but then it probably gets cold after that. So I'm not really sure how you get to the minus 12 degrees in rating. You probably have to wear a bit more. You probably would have to wear a hat as well, because I didn't wear anything on my head. Just know from using it just a few days, because I had the full range of weather from Denmark to here now in frosty conditions, in rain and strong winds that we had, I'm happy to have the -12 because it gives me the flexibility of sleeping in a colder night. And if it's warmer, I can just open the whole thing up, and it's just like a comfort at home. So it's really, really cool. Also, the air mattress is really good. It's quite comfortable, and also it insulates really well. So I was not cold from the bottom. It builds up quite a bit. I think it's like 9 centimeters or something, or 8 or 9 centimeters. So it has pretty good insulation, and it worked really well. Especially last night was definitely the test if I would stay warm in it. I also got the wider version. There's a very slim one. This is one size wider, which I think that's the minimum I would get. Same with these Zenbivy bed systems. There's smaller versions. There's a large and I think an extra large. I got the large, so I have a bit more room, and I can move around and nothing actually shifts in it. And I move several times, just going from one side to the other side on my back. And that's one of the benefits of having the system, because you have actually more room to move in it and nothing sort of shifts around, which I think is really, really cool. This system is easy to set up, and it's pretty easy to pack too. So I got a dry bag, also very nifty dry bag. It has a little valve in it, so if you start sort of stuffing, I start with the sheet, put that in, and then I basically stuff in the sleeping bag or the quilt, and you get all that air out. It's amazing how small it actually packs. And then that compression sack that I have, it has a little valve, so it leaves sort of the air out at the bottom, so you can really compress it. And then I got the compression caps on top of it. So if you wanted to get it even smaller, you take the compression caps, and there are straps on the side, and you keep pushing and sort of compressing it to really small volume, considering sort of how warm the sleep sack is. Works really well. The air mattress is really easy to set up too. It's really easy to develop. I have a little pump that I use, an electric pump, but this sack it comes with, you can use it as an inflation device. That works really well too. But the pump is easier. It's just more comfortable. It's just as easy to get the air out. So I just kind of fold it together and then just roll it out, and it's packed up pretty quickly. Anyway, guys, just for transparency reasons, the Zenbivy gear has been provided to me by Zenbivy. I was gonna pull the trigger anyway of buying their stuff. Through all my research, it seemed the best fit for me. For someone that is used to hotel comfort and is now going into camping, I wanted something that is as close as possible to my bed at home, which through all my research says this is, and I can attest to that. It really is. I had a really good night's sleep last night, and it works really well, and it works especially well when you start to move around a lot. When you sleep on your side, on your back, on the other side, it works really well. So I was gonna pull the trigger anyway, and then they were so nice to provide the gear for me. And if you're in the market, have a look at that. I think they're a relatively new company, and they have some cool innovations. If you look across the market, especially with sleeping sacks, I started looking at sort of the outdoor gurus, the guys that go trekking with their backpacks and stuff, and that's kind of where I started looking. But for motorcyclists, this is just as great. It's super lightweight, super compact, and it goes down to really low temperatures, and it is like a bed. Anyway, guys, if you like the video, if you've got comments, questions, put them in the comment section. See you in the next video. Until then, ride safe, stay awesome.